Hello, hello, good morning, good morning. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mostly Mondays with Megs. And today, first of all, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Megan Silito, and I have been a coach, a transformer for almost 29 years now. So I've been around the block. I have trained in as many modalities as I'm old. And, I love transformation. Obviously, if I've been doing it this long, I freaking love transformation. So this month, I am playing with the theme of greatness because I am going to be speaking at the Yin on Fire event. Let's see, for those of you who are coming to that event, and I'll put the link below if you're interested, it's in Southern Utah. And I'm going to be doing a breakout session on greatness on this Friday at 2 p.m. And I'm going to be speaking main stage 9 a.m. on greatness, and then also at 11 a.m. breakout session. So if you're in the area of Southern Utah and you want to stop by, it's kind of like Burning Man meets consciousness, right? So there's going to be bands and fire spinning and conversations and workshops that are going to help you to grow and really fully just rock your life. You know what I'm saying? We want to rock our lives, don't we? So in service of that, my theme this month is greatness. What does it take? How do you bring forward the greatness in you? In fact, my main stage talk is called The Arc, as in arc, the arc of greatness, meaning that, sometimes in life, you don't feel so great, right? And yet, somewhere inside you that you're on the path to greatness, that you're cultivating something greater for your life. And then this pit stop that you're having, where you're changing your tires, isn't where you're going to end up. Now, sometimes, I'll be honest, there have been times in my life where I didn't think I was on any arc. I just thought I was in the shitter. But what I know about me is that I'm always reaching for more. Do you know that about you? Are you always reaching for more? And the thing that I think that I have, one of my geniuses, is the ability to not give up and just keep standing back up again. You know what they say is like, get knocked down 99 times, get up 100. That, my friends, is the most quintessential success formula that there is, because everybody fails, everybody falls down, everybody. It's really about how many times you get back up and keep going, because I promise you, there is greatness in you. Absolutely. And if you ask for more, if you reach for more, you're going to get there as long as you keep standing back up again. That's what I mean in part by the arc of greatness. It's not really, I said this, right? But it's more like, that's kind of the arc of greatness. We were born with what Gay Hendricks talked about as entelechy, which is a natural intelligence, a blueprint for our unfoldment, a blueprint for our becoming. And it's interesting because in our genetics, there is a timing code. So your perineum forms before your eyeballs, before your hair, right? It's like things have to come in a particular sequence in order for us to be born. And so it's not just what we're genetically aligned with in terms of our eye color and hair color and family patterns and all this stuff. It actually, so much of what allows us to be successful is the sequencing. Have you ever wondered why it is that a 5-year-old becomes an opera star, and how a Nobel Prize winner writes his first thing at 80? It's the sequencing, meaning that there is a sequence of events and timing that will unlock us to more of who we are. over a period of time. And for some of us, we have a different trajectory, right? So I was actually listening to a podcast the other day of people who became millionaires in their 80s, right? I love that. I love stories like that. But we rise when we do. And interestingly enough, it doesn't really matter how hard you push the apple cart up the hill. We arrive when it's time to arrive. We get born when it's time to be born. Our genius, our greatness emerges more fully at the time that it's designed to emerge. The thing that we can't speed it up, that emergence, but we can slow it down. How do we slow it down? Judging, comparing, giving up. I would say those are the biggies. Concluding. I'm never gonna, I'm too old, I'm this, I'm too sick, I'm too this, right? So you can slow down the trajectory, but you can't really speed it up. Now, the more aligned you are with your greatness, with the path of growth, of that commitment to reach for more, no matter what, reaching for more, okay? The more effortless that emergence becomes, the more effortless that greatness emerges inside of you. And that's the path. And the truth is that if we're actually aligned with the flow and the timing sequencing of our greatness, life will be amazing, even when we're not really where we want to be, quote unquote, yet. That you'll be having so much fun on the way to that emergence that it won't feel like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? If you're asking, are we there yet? You're not, you actually have gotten off the path. You're in judgment, you're in comparison, you're in a conclusion that it should be happening by now, but it hasn't. What's wrong with you, right? So you've made a pit stop. If you're asking, are we there yet? You've made a pit stop. So what will it take for you to align with your greatness? What will it take? Because when you're on that arc, it feels great. You know, the things you're saying yes to, the next steps. So today I want to give you a tool, and it's a commitment that I made maybe 20 years ago now, ish. And the tool is that I made a commitment to feel good. So I believe that there are fundamental commitments that grow us or slow us. Okay. Unconscious commitments tend to slow us. So you could say, yeah, I'm choosing to have money, but you may have an unconscious commitment that's stronger. Like the unconscious commitment of lack, you know, and it's like, oh, I can't have more money than my family, but it's not something you're actually that aware of. So even though you keep thinking that you're choosing more money's not coming, because there's another commitment, an unconscious commitment that's stronger still. So the good news, if you take accountability for everything that's happening in your life, it's like, oh, I'm sick all the time. I'm actually committed to not feeling good right now. Like, what is that? Like, not as a wrongness, but as a question, as a curiosity. What is my body telling me? What is it that I need to learn from this? Like, taking every moment as a learning opportunity, no matter whatever is happening. So a commitment, and also I want to demystify commitment. So many of us have lifetimes of being committed, right? And sometime for me in my early, oh gosh, I couldn't even say the word commitment till my early 30s, probably. I literally would be tongue-tied, because for me, it meant I'm locked in and I have no other choice. The actual definition of the word commitment, the etymology, is to organize oneself in a direction. It's like having a target, and I'm going in this direction. And that no matter what, unless something else shows up that's greater, I'm going in that direction. And we're allowed to recommit. We're allowed to recreate our targets. It's not about being stuck in anything, but it is about being, I'm having this, what will it take? Now, I want to make a disclaimer. You cannot commit to things you don't have control over. So if you're committing to an outcome, you cannot commit to outcomes. You have no control over outcomes. You have control over process. Now, when you actually commit to process, you commit to what you have control over. I'll give you an example. Like you can't commit to weigh a certain weight. What can you commit to? You can commit to exercise. You can commit to gaining more awareness around what your body desires and what would be healthy for your body and what your body's asking for, right? That's something you can commit to. The steps are committable. But if you were to stand on a scale, you cannot control what that number says. That number is going to be whatever the number it is. Okay. So what happens, why people give up and why they don't believe that they can have what they want or choose what they want is they believe like, well, I said I wanted this, I chose that and I couldn't get it. Is like most likely they committed to the wrong thing. Like, for instance, I am a minister and I've married, just kind of as a little sideline, and I've probably married about 20 couples in the last 15 years or so, maybe 30 couples. And I actually, when they asked me to facilitate that for them, I actually have this conversation. I said, I cannot facilitate a marriage where you commit to love each other forever, ever, because you cannot control that. And that's a commitment that's going to set up for failure. What can you commit to is love each other every day, to greet each other and choose each other every day. That's what you can commit to. You can't commit to whether you're going to love somebody forever. So where we get stuck and where we start feeling like a failure is we commit to things we don't have any control over. We have influence over everything. We don't have control over outcomes. We have control over process. So by committing to something internally, by committing to something that you can be in process around, you can start to increase that arc of greatness. And the number one, this is the commitment that I made that changed freaking everything. This changed my arc of greatness dynamically. What do you think it was? I made the commitment to feel good, to make feeling good my priority. Seems too simple, doesn't it? But I was shocked at how unconsciously that I would be pulled by negativity, that I would be pulled by drama, that I would be pulled by not feeling good, right? So if you make a commitment to feeling good and you're in an argument with your spouse trying to be right, in that moment, you need to ask yourself, am I want to be right or do I want to be happy? I don't want to feel good right now, because very rarely does being right and being happy fit in the same file. Okay. So I made a commitment to making feeling good my priority. So moment to moment, I would ask myself, is this choice going to increase my well-being? Is this choice going to increase my ability to feel good now and in the future? Because there's a lot of stuff that might feel good right now. Right. And we have to look at the bigger picture, right? So for instance, you could go, oh yeah, I'd really like to have 3 shots of tequila. Well, you want to look at that and go, that would feel really good in the moment. But how are you going to feel in 3 hours? How are you going to feel in the morning? Right. And so you're looking at what choice would actually create more for me? Could be that a shot of tequila would be really great, or 2, but maybe not 3. Right. And so no judgment. Again, judgment is the thing that takes you off that arc faster than anything. Okay. Conversely, there's choices that maybe don't feel good in the moment, but they actually have long-term benefit. So for instance, I work out with a trainer twice a week. I don't generally get up and go, yippee, I get to work out today when I wake up at 7:30. But I tell you what, that choice creates a feel good for days and now into my life. I've made that commitment for the last 1.5 years, and I feel fitter, I feel stronger, I feel younger, I feel more alive than I felt 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. That was a choice that increased my ability to feel good more consistently, right? So when you get more interested in feeling good than in being right, than in struggling, than in surviving, I'm going to make a really bold claim here too, is like people who kind of have the work ethic of like, let's sacrifice our life now for something in the future. Be careful. Make sure that it's the kind of sacrifice like working out that really is contributing to your future. I know so many people who work 50 to 70 hours a week, lose relationships, lose time with their family in hopes that they can retire someday and have like all this money at the end of it, right? It's like, if you're not healthy and alive to enjoy that money, what's the point? And if you've suffered for 40 or 50 or 60 years to try to get to a place where you could feel good, that doesn't work. It's like your state of being creates your results. If you're always in survival, if you're always suffering, if you're always putting off your joy and your aliveness and your connections, that is not going to create long. You could have a whole bunch of money, but nobody's going to talk to you because you were an a-hole, right? So yes, there are choices for our future that we want to make. And sometimes, you know, like, let's say I wanted to, I don't know what, oh, you know what I do want to do? This is real. This is real. I want to do a mud run, right? So I might, I'm looking at next spring's mud run. So I'm probably going to have to do some training. I'm probably going to have to do some things that don't feel that great in the moment, but it's in service of this thing that sounds fun to me, that feels like it would be really fun to me, right? And it's temporary, right? It's like this period of time. So there might be a period of time where you decide like, I'm all in to launch this business, or I'm all in to create this greater thing. And please, please, please look at how much can you feel good now while you're doing this. I see too many people, like I would say that at least 50% of the people that end up coaching with me sold out. They did something they thought they needed to for money. And 30, 40 years later, they have not the money that they wanted. Why? Because if you're in the energy of suffering, you're not actually going to be that successful at keeping and creating money, right? But then they don't have a life they love. They're not doing the work that is joy for them, that turns them on, that lights them up. So be very careful in looking at the choices. Say, what will make me feel good now and in the future, now and in the future, right? And so even if you're dedicating yourself to something that is, you know, will create more for you, maybe it's an investment, maybe it's an investment of time, maybe it's a very high-end coaching program that, oh my gosh, you know, that's a lot of money, or that's a lot of whatever, right? But you know in your heart that's the path that's going to create more for you, and that you're going to have to commit some extra time, some extra money to get where you're going. That's a good choice. That's a great choice, right? But be careful of stuff where you're stuck in this someday maybe I will feel good. That hardly ever, 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 ever works out. You've got to feel good right here, right now, and make that your priority. So how can you make a very clear, strong commitment? When I work with myself or I work with people, I help them actually embody their new intentions, embody their new choices, embody bigger level commitments, right? And again, you can only commit to the intrinsic, right? So feeling good is always within your control. It is, moment to moment. Like even when you feel bad, you can feel good in the feeling bad. So I've been fighting off a little bit of flu or cold or something this weekend, and I'm taking all the things that I know to do, and I'm letting my body have little rests, and I'm talking to my body and I'm like, hey body, how can I help you? How can I support you in moving this through? I'm asking my body what message it's trying to give me. I'm actually feeling good in the process of kind of not feeling good. So this is what I mean, is that you always, always have the choice. So what I do is when I'm making a whole body commitment, a full body commitment, is I say my name, I, Megan, commit. Again, what does commit mean? To organize oneself in a particular direction. Now, if that word really is crappy for you, I don't have enough time to help you take the charge off of that. I would say use the word choose. I, Megan, choose or commit to make feeling good my priority, my priority. Whew. Notice if it feels like you just said it up here or if you said it in here. What I invite you to do, if this is interesting to you in terms of in service of becoming your greatness, is that you write it out with your dominant hand and then your non-dominant hand at least 3 times each. And you allow whatever comes up to come up, just kind of breathe through it. Maybe you have a clearing technique that you use. There's a great clearing technique called the clearing statement, and you can go to theclearingstatement.com to learn it. You could do some tapping. You could do some breath work. You could just say, hey, I'm going to create and destroy that. Right. So you write it with both hands. Why? To get it on both hemispheres, to get it in the whole brain. Right. And then stand up and speak it and speak it and speak it out loud until you feel it in every cell of your body. And then your job, the real job is moment to moment going, okay, what would feel good here? What would feel good here? And if you notice that you made a whole bunch of choices that feel like shit, that's awesome, because that's your counter commitment being revealed to you. Oh, like when I first made that commitment, like I spent so much time recommitting because I was like, holy crap, I just constantly, unconsciously make these choices that don't actually align with who I am, that aren't actually creating vibrancy, aliveness, joy, and happiness for me. Like, wow, good to know. So it is good to know. And how can you feel good with playing with the fact that, wow, I am so committed to feeling like shit? That's what I did actually a couple of times, is I just owned what I was really committed to. Like, that's whatever your results are, that's what you're committed to. Oh, I'm really committed to feeling like shit. That's awesome. Yay me. Now, would you like to recommit? And recommit is just to readjust, right? When an airplane goes from Salt Lake to Chicago, it's off course more than it's on course. It's off course 90% of the time, but it trusts itself to go in and out of that jet stream and land in Chicago. Do you trust yourself to come in and out of the space of that arc, right? In and out, right? And to get your little butt to Chicago. If you have a clear direction, I am absolutely going to Chicago, I'm absolutely ready to make feeling good my priority, then in that process of choosing things that make you feel good and going, oh, wow, I didn't know that choice made me feel good. Or, oh, wow, that was a great choice. Or, oh, wow, I've been making shitty choices. All of it's just information. That's the autopilot system in an airplane. You have an autopilot system too. And it's going to show you where you're getting off track and help you correct, and where you're getting off track and help you correct. This commitment has given me more juice and more aliveness and more joy than anything I have ever chosen or ever committed to. So this is one of my secret sauces of on the journey to greatness, because here's the deal. The better you feel, the more you are, because we're designed to feel good. We are designed, our very nature. How do you know when you are actually being you? Is you will feel good. So the more you feel good, the more you be you, the more you be you, the more that greatness can naturally and effortlessly reveal itself to you. How does it get better than that? How awesome is that? Who's in? Who's going to do this with me? I am actually, because this came to me to do today, I was like, oh, I haven't really looked at that commitment for a while. I'd like to turn it up now. So I'm going to commit to make feeling good my priority. That is what I'm about. And I'm going to allow all of my results to come from the space of feeling good. How about you? Are you in? Are you ready to engage the flight, the arc of greatness? Because it requires you to feel good more than not. Pretty simple. Not always easy, but pretty simple. All right, you guys, thank you for joining me today. I'm going to be here one more Monday in September, next Monday. And then I am out for a couple of weeks again. I am off to the Green Isle. I'm off to Ireland on a magical mystery tour of activating magic of the land. Oh, how fun is that? So, but I will be here live next week. So please join me for this ongoing conversation of greatness. And if you get to Yin on Fire, please come see me, come give me a hug, come see me talk, come see me dive into this material. This is my favorite thing to talk about. Thanks for joining me today, you guys. Bye for now.